This is not as self-serving as it may seem, but my most important memory is actually getting tenure in this department. You know, because when I came, there was only one other black faculty in the whole institute. That person happened to have been my basketball coach in Pasadena, California. But I had taken a leave to go and work in Roxbury to set up a community-owned development corporation. I'd already done my book. I'd already, done my 6.5 years. And it was time for the tenure decision. I thought it was pretty set. But then I saw Lucian Pye, and he said, well, I don't know, because the dean tells us instead of the 3 slots we thought we had, we only have 1. And we have 3 splendid candidates that we thought were shoo-ins, and now we have to pick among the 3. We have, all of them are scholar activists. I'm doing anti-apartheid work, not at that time, but Africa independence work. Leonard Fine was doing a lot of outreach work in the Jewish community, started their most significant progressive magazine. And Jack Saloma started the Ripon Society among the progressive Republicans. There were a few of them then. And so now I've taken a leave. I'm not here. And so Lucian warns me and says, in effect, he's trying to tell me you're not likely. I mean, you're one of maybe now 2 blacks in the whole institute that you might think works for you, but no. But then Bob Wood had become the chair, and Bob is a very fair-minded person. Not that Lucian was not, but Bob was also concerned that this process be absolutely fair. And so each time some question came up, he was the one that I learned later would look into it, and somebody said, it's not a good teacher. And then he goes and he pulls out the student evaluations, and I'm among the best in terms of those evaluations. So in the end, I'm away from this department 2 years doing community development work across the river. Coming back occasionally, but not often, because it was very demanding work. So finally, my most exhilarating moment is to come back and Bob Wood says, and I became the first African American to rise through the ranks at MIT to tenure. There had in fact been one other brought to MIT with tenure by the president, Jerry Wiesner. So he preceded me as a tenured faculty, but I'm the first one to rise through the ranks. But to do so on the basis of the willingness of this department to look at it again and again, and to make sure that every criticism that might have been voiced for whatever reason was answered. And in the end, it was quite successful, and these are all good, good people, fair-minded people. I don't recall any overt expression of racism against me. I really don't. Maybe I'm blind. But it was a good experience all the way through, and I was even well accepted when I started organizing anti-apartheid demonstrations, which we carried on for a year across the river again, and got arrested But I got arrested with other important people. George Wall, Nobel laureate from Harvard. So, you know, they said, well, you're notorious, but in a good way.